Hello and welcome to the final race of NAGP Season 33 GT Series. I'm Jake Feemster here with Jack Ivey.
Hey, Jake, round 12, Bathurst.
Yep, 250 kilometers tonight in the race, and we're just watching these guys on their first the outlap right now. So with Szabo not here, Kirkbride 5 points north to Szabo. I think you said 6 points north of Hefner. It seems like Kirkbride with an advantage here. He's got a lot less weight than his teammate, so we'll have to see how that goes. Qualifying will tell us part of the story.
Yeah, he's just got to finish ahead of Hefner to take the title, and it does look like Podium Hunters, failing an absolute catastrophe, is going to end up with the team championship as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of drama from last week, but not so much drama from who's going to be winning. But we've had some great races here this season, Jay.
Yes, we have.
So we're down at Bathurst, 41 laps. It's got 23 turns, and quite a demanding track.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of speed, lots of elevation change, and especially through this downhill that we're seeing Kirkbride go through right now. You've got to control the weight of the car and make sure you don't slide nastily into a wall here. There's not much room for error, Jack.
Very tight going through the S's, and down through the dipper he goes on the Conrad straight, and this is where they really pick up some top end speed here, Jake.
Yeah. Yeah, going up the hill this time. Kirkbride with a, let's see. Oh, we don't know yet. Sorry. All right. Okay, start finish line's at the top there. My map. I see it now.
Now, this corner he's going into called the chase. I expect to see some guys off at this chase part coming into this final turn. And this final turn's really tight as well.
Yep, 90 degrees. Kevin, let's pull up our gears here. I think Kevin was in second or even first gear for that one.
Yeah, he was in second gear there.
Yeah.
And that first corner, hell corner, that's going to be interesting at the start after they drop the green flag there with all those cars coming through that tight corner there. And then along this big straight. That's a really important corner to nail. Such a big straight, they're going to hit upwards of 160 miles an hour going through there.
I've been watching Kirkbride for too long, but we're still, I guess we're watching the second time lap of these guys. Kirkbride's in first, predictably. No traffic to deal with, helps a little bit, but his teammate with that weight is 1.2 seconds down so far, so definitely you expect with all the elevation change, all the hills, the weight will play a role here, and not looking great for Hefner. Oh, as he bumps the wall.
Well, in the pre-race, Hefner and Kirkbride, I mean, they put the laps in, they put in 130 laps of practice. Montgomery looked for him. Olsen and Parsons looked for them. And, I didn't think he had great practice times. Matt Lehman, I don't think he's going to be here tonight, but his Dan Thorpe, his partner, is here. The other half of Empire Motorsports.
Kirkbride looks to improve on that lap this time. Nobody even coming close to his for Sector 1 time right now. Sam Montgomery Jr. and Jesse Olsen both 0.2 down. So Kirkbride looking like the fastest guy on track today.
Yeah, and he's only got 10 kilos, so, that's literally nothing for Kirkbride there. And got a smoking lap going, along with Montgomery's got a hot one going right now, too. Wow, 2:04.163. That is fast. That's a smoking hot time. I don't know if anybody's going to catch that.
Yeah. Montgomery's going to get close, going to deliver P2 right here as long as he's kept the third sector clean as he goes around the last turn. And he does up to P2.
Now that's going to push Parsons down to P3. So, good mix there. We've got the Lambo, we got the McLaren, and we got the Nissan of Parsons.
Yeah.
And in P5 right now, and that's incredible. We got Zach Hefner there. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. In P4, he's carrying 60 kilos tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got that car set up, and boy, he must be hitting his marks tonight. Welcome to the viewers there, and no, Peter Szabo has decided to withdraw from the race tonight.
Either unable or unwilling to participate is Peter Szabo.
Yeah, penalties from last week. We got in Jolter with an oak wall, aggressive overtakes. Not something we haven't seen before, and not something we won't see in the future. Kirkbride gets 10 for contact with Peter Szabo. Peter Szabo got 40 for contact blocking and brake checking. And David Merrill has got 40 for unsafe rejoin. And then we got 60 balance in there, Zach. 60, where's the other guys? Salem's got 40.
Yes, he does. From that win last week. I want to make sure I've got you loud enough, Jack. Let's go to 60. All right, so Parsons up on Kirkbride's sector 1 time and down significantly a half a second on Kirkbride's sector 2 time, so that's not going to get him there. Who's next? Let's see. We'll watch Parsons for a while. He's not slow. He may improve his time here, but it's not hugely likely. He's all the way against the rev limiter there at the end of the straight there before the chicane.
And, a little surprise there. We got Michael McKinday has jumped up to P4 there in the Ferrari.
Yeah. Right. We've seen him hop up there when he knows the track, and we never seem to be able to guess when that is, but I bet he's driven this one before. Okay, so Parsons up to P2. I lied. He beat Kirkbride's sector 3 time there, so up to P2. And Salem just finished his flying lap, so we'll hop on board with him and see what he's got with his 40 kilograms. Parsons, of course, with 0. Kevin with 10, but that Lamborghini showing a lot of speed here, as it has been.
Yeah, Jesse Olsen up to 5th. Brad Maris into 6th. Hefner in 7th. Cuppen in 8th. Rickard in 9th. And Dan Thorpe in 10th. And another bit there, Al Merriman's going to be carrying 40 kilos of potatoes around tonight. And he's been off for a couple of races with some technical issues, but the rules are the rules, and he's going to carry the weight.
Disagree with that one, Al. Probably don't have to tell you that. But that's the rules, so there he is.
What are they going to do, fire us at this stage of the game?
Too late.
You're right, and they're going to have to we got the upper hand here because contract renewal talks are going to heat up immediately right after this program, folks.
I am sure.
Hey, NAGP, great place to race, great place to watch. Come out and join us Mondays and Thursday nights. Get signed up. New season starting shortly. Probably in 4 weeks maybe. Open wheel Monday night, which I'm sure Jake is going to be in the thick of things, and GT racing on Thursday night. I'm sure I'll probably be not in the thick of things.
Well, Kenny, we got Kenny with us.
My old buddy Ken Rodriguez. Kenny, I hope you're doing well. Hope the family's good. Hope the new house is all settled in. You're all good. Hope life's treating you well.
So, halfway through qualifying, Kirkbride still up in first with that 2:04.1. Parsons 0.3 back, so a little bit more gap between these guys. We still got 9 guys in 1 second, as is tradition. We normally have a couple more, but we're missing a few this time. Only 18 guys racing this race, but So Kirkbride with more of a margin than he usually has at this time. We'll see. Parsons just finishes out lap, so we'll hop over with him to see if he can improve. Certainly he'll be trying, and he does have no weight this race, so that's good for him.
Well, good thing, we do have 9 drivers within 1 second of the top. But a little point I'd like to make, this season, Jake, has been quite interesting. We've had 13 different drivers on the podium. And I don't mean wins, I'm just saying on the podium, 13 different drivers. So quite a mix going on there this season.
Yeah, good stats there, Jack. That's quite an achievement.
It is. We've got, Kirkbride's got the most wins of anybody, but it was nice to see all those different drivers up there on the podium. Some guys for the first time, like Matt Lehman and Michael McKinday. So it was good to see a nice mix in there.
Yeah, Kirkbride having a heck of a season in both leagues. Podium Hunters, as the Hefner and Parsons duo, will be back next season, but not for both leagues. According to those guys, Hefner's going to pick, and he says it's going to depend on what car they pick for Monday. So look for Podium Hunters to come back and be competitive, I'm sure. Parsons really struggling through Sector 2. That's been a struggle for him, and Montgomery looking really fast through Sector 2.
Well, we've seen that. In the last race, Montgomery had the second sector all figured out. He was killing everybody's times there. So who knows what goes on with these drivers here? They find comfort in certain sections and can lay the hot lap times down.
I think Montgomery improved his time there, but didn't improve his position. He's still in third place, just 100th of a second behind. Oh, make that a 10th of a second behind Parsons as Parsons throws in another fast lap. Kirkbride as well is looking to improve his lap, although he looked a little off track there. He might have just messed up Sector 3, and he has. He goes into the pits.
Yeah, caught a bit of grass there.
Yeah, a little bit of grass, but he wasn't much up on his original lap.
Well, that's coming down through the chase there, and some of these guys are going to run wide there. I just know it.
Yeah, I bet you're right, Jack. Sean Ricker looking fast through Sector 1. We'll see how his Sector 2 time is. He's got no weight. Purple Helmets have seen some good results this season, but we've seen some aggressive driving out of them, especially maybe Jesse Olsen. But still had plenty of points results for these guys. And did they get on the podium this season, Jack? I don't think so. They were close. They were certainly close.
Yeah, we'll take a look.
Yeah.
No podiums for the Purple Hunters, but they have done well. They have done real well. And right now you can see Olsen in 7th and Ricker in provisionally 8th.
Yeah, he's going to move way up. Looks like he's looking for 4th here. Oh, bad Sector 3 for Sean Ricker. Doesn't improve. So I did not see that coming. I think I missed a mistake in there. We'll check out his teammate Jesse Olsen, who's also looking pretty clean through Sector 1.
Yeah, into the wall that last corner coming off the dipper.
Broadcaster's curse for Jesse Olsen. How about Hefner, who really could improve a lot here, but he's got a lot of weight on that Lamborghini. It's already a heavy car, Jack, so...
Well, going uphill's not going to be good.
No,
downhill
either, yeah. I think downhill
really
he's got a lot of momentum in the turns to he's got to get slowed down. So anyway, that's Sector 2 really catching guys out tonight. Only a few of these guys making it look quick.
Yeah, these S's into the dipper are tough. I'm on board with Hefner now as he comes through the chase, and that's a slidey part of the track too.
Yep.
So much speed coming down that straightaway.
Pretty narrow circuit here, and look at those grid positions around the corner. I'm not sure how far back our grid's going to go, but that looks like a heck of a place to start.
No, definitely wouldn't be around the corner. You know, we got 20 drivers in, and
Yeah,
we're
we're
probably going to
short.
pick up Johnny McIntyre.
Yep, I bet we will. So on board with Hefner now. He didn't improve on his last lap. He's going to try again. And I'm using the onboard cam because I'm sick of looking at the flashy stuff all over these cars. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, this cutting corner here is really dicey as you go up into the S's. I think, you know, Jake, if I go back, this might have been one of the first tracks I raced at.
Oh, really?
I think Mexico was my first, and I think Bathurst was in the same season.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Sam's. Oh, boom. Snap.
Nowhere to go for Hefner. I saw him slow up and then decide I think he was just going to T-bone Sam.
Oh, and Parsons.
Yeah, I just picked up Parsons and he made a mistake there. He had traffic ahead anyway, not looking good.
Yeah.
Through sector 4, not looking clear anyway. Okay, so what else we got? Brad just moved up to P6. Good job, Brad. Didn't see that lap, but good job. McKinday still hanging on to P4. Kirkbride in a league of his own, but can't improve on that lap time. He's been trying. But that was his second time lap. He's been out a few more times.
Now, is Carlos Delatorre got a no fault?
Don't know.
Maybe from a previous race, because he's just sitting in the pits. Hasn't put in a lap time, so he might.
Huh. All right. You know, Joe does.
Chuck Carter, no time in. Gregory Myers, no time in.
Greg,
he's got a time in. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, Greg definitely. Yeah, Chuck Carter does too, actually.
John LaCour and Carlos Delatorre are the two with it.
Yep.
So 6 minutes to go. You know, we got the standings. You know, Kirkbride's out in front. Zabo's in second. Not going to participate for the rest of the season. Hefner in third, Montgomery in fourth, Maris in fifth, Parsons in sixth, Moses in seven, John Ludden in eight, Michael McKinday in nine, and Matt Lehman in 10th. And Sean Recker will probably take that spot away from Matt Lehman. I don't see Lehman. I don't think he was going to show up.
Oh, Sean Ricker bounces off the wall. Man, these guys are having trouble. What turn is that?
That would be the last turn.
Yeah, the last turn going down the hill. Yeah.
The dipper.
Yeah, that is a heck of a place for understeer, and a lot of these guys running into the wall there on exit. Kirkbride still trying to improve that time. He got down to a 2:04.0, so he did improve on his 2:04.1. He got about another tenth out of it, so good run by him. Really looks like he's going to be untouchable here, but we'll see about that. You got to wonder if Hefner's secretly hoping he'll crash out or something, even though it is his teammate. Kirkbride.
Well, everybody wants a win, but it'll take a Herculean effort by Zach Hefner to take that overweight, fatted up Lambo to the top of the podium.
Yeah, Hefner will finish the race, but that's a heck of a drive trying to move that thing forward. He's not going to have a tremendous amount of pace as he hasn't had for the last few races because he's had a lot of ballast. So anyway, he still gets up there. He's still got good consistency and good lap times for the most part. Just not as good as the guys who were able to stay on the podium. 0.3. I really wish he would improve his position. I think he can do better than 8th, but he's struggled so much through Sector 2. It seems after that sector, it's all gone. That first sector is just straight, so you expect the weight to affect him up the hill, but it's not going to bother him. There's no turns.
Well, I got Dan Thorpe out there. Just come through the dipper, down the Conrad Straight. And he might improve his time. but I don't know if it's going to be enough to overtake Sean Ricker for P9.
Yeah, big gap there between P9 and P10, but we'll see what Dan can do. Yeah, Hefner looking so it's just slow against through Sector 2, so we'll hop on to Thorpe as he goes around the last corner here. He's about to. It looks like John McIntyre not going to do a lap, but he is in. He does have time. I wonder if he wants to sneak that in there. Anyway, Thorpe. 1.2, so he improves, but you're right, Jack. He didn't get ahead of Ricker.
Yeah, he's probably not happy about that. He was probably trying to work his way up to the top 10, being that close, but he did take quite a bit of time off his previous qualifying
whole
effort.
half a second there, yeah. And so he's safe from Al Merriman. He should be. Al, struggling with his new equipment, says he feels a little bit slower on the new wheel. Clearly he's felt like he was 4 seconds slower, but clearly he's gotten that down to a more reasonable difference. Maybe he's already gotten used to it. So 40 kilograms is a lot, though. We see also, Hefner with 60 is in 8th, so maybe a little more pace Al could get out of it, but not much. So.
Well, I do know Al was practicing earlier today. Not so sure if he was supposed to be working, but he was definitely working the wheel.
Yep.
So trying to get in for a good showing tonight, along with his teammate Brad Maris, who is in P6 right now.
Parsons turns in a very clean Sector 2 here. This may be his opportunity to take pole. He's got to get this last turn absolutely perfect. I don't know what perfect looks like in the Nissan. I have no idea, but I guess maybe that was it. Let's see. Cross the line, and he is 0.082 seconds slower than Kevin Kirkbride. That is not what he wanted.
Oh, wait, that's it's a pretty decent showing, though.
Yeah, that is, and he doesn't have time to do another one, so that was it. Kirkbride is out there, but he's not going to improve. Who will improve? Let's see. Brad, maybe. Let's see what Brad can do under pressure. And then I don't see anybody on an outlap. Thorpe may get to do one more. Montgomery may get to do one more. Montgomery looking really fast through Sector 2 again. Montgomery may improve here. I can't say that for sure, because Sector 3 isn't a strong sector in the McLaren, it looks like. And he does have 40 kilograms, so it would be a heck of a feat for him to surpass Ezza with 0.
The last 3 corners were done really well.
Yep, but not enough. I think he did. I don't know if he improved there or not. Maybe a little bit. Okay. Speaking of not improved, Brad still in 6th. All right. Kirkbride first, Parsons second, Salem Montgomery Jr. third, Michael McKinday, 4th, Jonathan Cuppett 5th so far as he goes around to try to improve. He has a really fast Sector 2 time. We keep seeing that, but these high-speed sectors are still getting some of these guys that are able to maintain the speed through Sector 2. Maybe they have more aero. I don't know. Something like that may be affecting their performance in the Sector 1 and Sector 3 areas where there's a lot of straight line speed involved. Let's see what he can do here. So Cuppett does not improve. Stays
well,
5th.
one guy who did improve was Dan Thorpe. He's still out there on an overtime hot lap, but he pulled himself up to P8. Just behind Jesse Olsen.
Absolutely. Great run by Dan Thorpe, getting a whole second off his time there late in, or almost a whole second late in qualifying.
Yeah, those guys have worked hard. I like those guys as a team, and I think they're going to do well. Of course, his teammate Matt Lehman, in through the chase there, caught a lot of grass. That's going to cost him.
Yeah, that's going to cost him. Salem still looking so fast through Sector 2, and he's not going to improve this lap either. So I don't know who at this point. Dan Thorpe doesn't improve. He's still in 8th. Okay, so I think we got the final order here. Yeah.
Hefner just coming around for his last corner. Bit of a slide there.
Yep, doesn't improve. Slams it into the wall.
Yeah, he wants to keep his pit crew busy.
Yeah. Olsen. Last guy on a flyer, I do believe. I don't know how he got out there. Must have really gotten it right at the zero.
He pulled one out of the hat.
Yep.
And again, those Audis running all over the speed limiter.
Yep, not a fast one for Olsen, and we are done with qualifying. So, this is going to be long. I hope they keep
41
it
laps long.
I hope they keep it interesting. Somebody catch Kirkbride and give him a little love tap. He likes that.
Well, he's got Kevin Kirkbride. He's got the Aaron Parsons right behind him, Salem Montgomery.
Yeah, Parsons is not going to do it
what?
for me. Parsons doesn't cut it. Parsons is too nice.
Michael McKinday is in behind Salem Montgomery. And this is going to be interesting because we know McKinday loves racing really, really close. I haven't seen him, be overly aggressive, but he's definitely in your rearview mirror.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah. Got to keep an eye on Michael. Got to keep an eye on Salem Montgomery, although he's got 40 kilograms. That can't be good. Cuppet, that's pretty good for Cuppet. He's had some troubles this season, but that's a solid qualifying. We'll see if he can keep that spot in the race. Then we got Brad, and then Jesse. Yeah, everybody looking pretty good. Some guys opting for softs here. I don't know what the temperature is. Asphalt is 37.
Conspicuously absent, Chris Moses.
Yeah, Chris Moses is skipping this guy. So he is out for the final race of the year. And we are counting down. We're going to run down the order. Let me find an angle that'll show the car here and not get blocked by a wall. Kevin Kirkbride will start first. Aaron Parsons starts second. Salem Montgomery Jr. will start third. Michael McKinday starting fourth. Jonathan Cuppet fifth. Brad Mary's sixth. Jesse Olsen seventh. Dan Thorpe 8th, Zach Hefner 9th, Sean Ricker 10th, Al Merriman will. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. That's all right. Al Merriman is in 11th. Alan Jacobs in the Nissan, subbing in for 05 Motorsports tonight in 12th. Bjorn Harriman in 13th. Chris Cosco in 14th. Sam Rolfe in 15th. Greg Myers in 16th. Chuck Carter in 17th. Sergio Calderon in 18th. Carlos De La Torre in 19th. Ian Jolicoeur in 20th, and John McIntyre in 21st.
Yep. Gonna be.
Hey, that was a good showing by Chris. He's got his car sitting there in P14, so good on you, Chris.
Yeah, solid run for the Corvette, and we thought of that as one that doesn't have a lot of straight line speed, but here he is in faster than a couple Nissans, so good run by him, beating Greg Myers, whose car I guess he took.
Well, Greg was away for a few weeks. He was over in Japan. I think if I had the choice of driving on Thursday nights or driving around Japan, I'd probably take driving around Japan.
Yeah, probably. All right. So
now, what?
I don't know. Go ahead.
I got nothing.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, so I'm gonna set up the camera for looking at these guys as they start, because the stationary cams here are not that great. They're not my favorite. Just take it from the front of Kevin's car, and Kevin and Parsons starting side by side here. There is not a first place, second place start. This looks like a drag. This looks like a drag race, Jack.
Yeah, it will be. I don't know what's going on there, if they're all on the track right now or not. I can't see from my angle. But I've got the McLarens on softs and the Audi R8 on softs.
Yep. And the Nissan of Parsons is also on softs.
Chris Cosco has got his Corvette on softs as well, along with the Ferrari of Carlos De La Torre and the Nissan of Greg Myers.
Yep, so you gotta wonder if those guys on softs are running 2 stops, and some of these guys on mediums are running 1. We'll have to see how that plays out. Parsons, man, with the soft tire, you gotta wonder if he's gonna have an advantage off the starting line. You keep an eye on him.
Yeah, he's going to have to put that car out in front and just hope that his Nissan's got the grunt going down the big Conrad straightaway to keep Kirkbride at bay. Bathurst lights are on. Round 12, final round for Thursday night GT racing, 41 laps.
So Kirkbride with the better start. Parsons with the better acceleration there, pulling away, and looks like he's going to be able to still side by side. These guys looking pretty clean through the field through turn one. A little bit of space there after fifth position. That's Jonathan Cuppett kind of in his own room there. And Parsons is in the lead now.
This first lap action is going to be interesting, to say the least.
A little bit of jostling positions as these guys line up. Oh, side by side through some tight sections of track. Maybe a little bit of bump in there in the back of the field. Parsons with the lead is pulling away a little bit from Kirkbride, trying to extend that lead on the softs early, I'm sure.
That would be my guess too, Jake. Right on. He's got to get a bit of a and Kirkbride with the big miss of the chicane there.
Yeah.
There's one for him, and he only gets 6, and you're gonna drop a lap. So he's gonna have to be cognizant of that.
Wow, that could be enough to lose in the championship if Hefner's able to do well. Speaking of Hefner, let's take a look. As we talked about, somebody sideways. That's Michael McKinday.
Turn around.
And he's got to wait now for the whole field to go by. Bad luck for Michael McKinday.
Pretty well. That drops him from 4th all the way down to 21st, and damage, severe damage.
It is not a good track to be sideways on track.
No, so McKinday with all sorts of problems. And he's got suspension damage as well.
Yeah, so he's going to have to pit for that and just hope that some of these other guys make a mistake as well and get him back in the race. Or he may just drive on. You know, some of the suspension damage with the GT cars is somewhat drivable, so we'll see what he decides to do. Kirkbride trying to keep Parsons honest up in first, but Parsons able to pull away on those soft tires. I really do think it's tires giving him a little bit of an advantage right now. Looks like Alan Jacobs is chasing down Al Merriman.
Jacobs in the Nissan, Merriman carrying 40 kilos, so, Jacobs is too, so evenly matched, evenly weighted.
Yep. Right, because it's Jacobs' first GT race, I think.
And just up ahead of them, we've got Zach Hefner, Dan Thorpe, and Brad Maris, Jesse Olson, Cuppett, Montgomery. So 1, 2, 3 are getting spaced out there. Geez, and just watch Kirkbride do a dust up there at the chicane again. So this chicane could cause trouble for some of these guys in the review.
Yep. You may be right about that one.
So quite the freight train going. From about 5th back to 10th. And a little farther back, 15, 16, 17. Got a good dust up going back here with Craig Myers, Chris Cosco, and Johnny McIntyre. Of course, Chris going to have a hard time with the speed of that Mercedes coming alongside him right now.
Yep, looks like he is. Now is he clear? Yeah, he's clear, and they go one by one through this challenge here.
Yeah, that's called a chase, and that is dicey there. Yeah, sitting just behind them is Carlos Del Torre saying, keep mixing it up there, boys. it did look like Chris got a good clean run off that last corner to stay up and tight with McIntyre. But that Mercedes has got some straight line speed, so it's going to be tough for Chris to keep up there. And he's tucked in nice though.
Alan Jacobs still looking at the bumper of Al Merriman.
Yeah, there's quite a train up ahead of these guys as well. So not holding these guys up, but you know, Al's probably chasing Ricker out in front of him. And Jacobs trying to look for a way or a solution around the Lambo of Al Merriman.
Further up, hopping on board with Dan Thorpe here.
Yeah, a great trade going on there. You've got Cuppet, Olson, Brad Maris, and Dan Thorpe. So I want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight and tuned in all season. We really appreciate it, guys. It makes it fun for us up here in the broadcast booth, as Jake's done an excellent job running the show. Thanks, Jake.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was reading chat.
That's okay. That's okay. I was just throwing kudos your way, but if you don't want to acknowledge those,
I'm sorry, Jack.
Yeah,
I heard thanks, Jake, and I didn't hear any other words. It's a long race. All right, so it's hard to read and listen at the same time. You mentioned our viewers, and I went straight to the chat room to see if anything interesting had happened. And they were talking.
It's always interesting in that chat room.
It is.
In fact, I got to tell you,
that
there's been a couple times this season where that chat room is absolutely blown up.
Yeah. Yep. McKinday saying he just lost focus. Bad luck for Michael. Too bad. It was going to be fun to see him fight for the podium, but it looks like Parsons, Kirkbride, Salem Montgomery Jr. putting in quick laps here, looking for a good result early. It's a long race, but if they can secure their lead this early, they're going to have a lot better odds. Especially with those guys right now running kind of by themselves, those three leaving the pack to some extent.
Yeah, you know, there's almost 4 seconds between Montgomery and Cuppet. So I'm not saying Cuppet and Olson aren't doing a great job back there. It's just Parson, Kirkbride, and Montgomery have sort of stretched out and got themselves all gapped out there. So they just have to run hot laps, keep it all nice and clean. Not a lot of pressure up there. Well, what do I know? I've never run up there, but I mean.
Let's see, Jesse Olson. It does look like everybody may be getting a little held up by Cuppet, maybe, not really. Actually, Cuppet with the fastest lap out of all of them, so no, not really at all. But it does look like that train is closing in.
Yeah, you know, they're keeping it nice and tight there. There's 5 cars there, all vying for really P4. You know, it's too bad Michael McKinday dropped out, had an unfortunate incident. I didn't really catch all of it, so I can't comment.
Yeah, I think he just bumped the wall and got put sideways, and that's how. I don't think he hit anybody. It was just a mistake there at a bad spot.
He's been a real great addition to the Thursday night drivers here, as far as I'm concerned. Came in cold and showed he had some great racecraft, and I just loved the way he drove nice and tight and aggressive throughout the season in a car that nobody chose. Nobody wanted the Ferrari.
Right.
He made it work.
Yep, absolutely.
So I hope we get Michael back. M&M.
I bet we will.
I think so too. It seemed like he was having a lot of fun and participated in the both in the forum and on Discord. Great guy, flying the Nigerian flag, racing out of Toronto, Canada. So, where are you out there?
I'm on board with Jacobs now, as this looks to be the closest battle on track, but...
Absolutely. Al and chasing Al down through the dipper right now. That's always a bit of a pucker moment. Coming off that dipper, they got that concrete barrier there. And sometimes if you overcook it, you're going to catch all sorts of problems here.
Wow, Alan Jacobs on the limiter there.
All over the limiter. Sort of taking a page out of Purple Helmet's book on that one.
Yeah. Like we saw Salem doing last season. I feel like he was maybe the first one where we noticed it. It was really obvious. I'll keep an eye on it next time. I'm curious when it does that, if he stops gaining speed there. You'd think so.
The point of that.
I think so, but we'll see.
And it'll probably happen on the Conrad Straight going down the hill again. So
Yep. Well, it's closest battle on track, so I'll keep an eye on these guys. Parsons has eked out a lead of 3.6 seconds over Kirkbride right now. Kirkbride then with a further 2.4 over Salem Montgomery Jr. So those guys...
Olsen into the wall. Took a bump off the wall there.
Bad luck, and these guys are coming up fast.
That was in the cutting corner there. Up past Schulman Park, but it doesn't look to have affected him too much.
Yeah, he didn't look like he lost much time. It looks like he just kept on going.
He got damage, though. He's got damage.
Yep. A lot of these guys will be driving around here with damage.
So, Thorpe is up in behind. Brad Maris, who's up in behind. Jesse Olsen, who's up in behind Jonathan Cuppett. So, a little bit of a four-way train that going there. But Alan Jacobs, you're going to watch him going down. He just come down Conrad Straight now. I'm just going to check and see where he tops out.
Yeah, about 179 miles an hour.
Yeah, and it didn't seem to increase once he hit the limiter.
No,
so
he really is hitting the limiter. I just don't think I'd be tuning a car that way, but I guess it's working for him.
Maybe one more click of gear there.
Yeah, just a teeny bit. Maybe even move around the final drive and see if I can get less than one click of gear, just a few more miles an hour, so I could keep accelerating.
Maybe 182, 183,
right?
And that would just give him that little bit of a push to get up behind Al, even a little tighter.
Yeah, these guys may have set their gears for qualifying, so we saw him really hitting the limiter when he was right behind Al. I gotta wonder if he had a little bit of draft there, helping him along and making him going faster than he anticipated, because he really wasn't on the limiter for that long, that lap around. Anyway, hopping on board with Jesse Olsen, because he's been close to Cuppett, but appears to be closing, although we've seen those Audis really fast through Sector 2, so no telling. Oh, and as I say that,
Cuppett's off the track, and
Jesse
Olsen with him.
Jesse could have been way more careful there.
But you know what?
Wow.
That pushed Cuppett back in the right direction, but I think Cuppett's dead.
Oh, no. So, Olsen.
I think Jonathan is dead. His car's moving.
Oops.
Boy, good on you.
Olsen's got major suspension damage.
But what a great show of patience to wait that long. But yeah, oh boy. He can barely steer the car. I'm inside the cockpit with Jonathan Cuppett right now, and he's got about a 90-degree kink. He decides to disregard the chicane and drive straight through.
Olsen did the same and is losing spots. So we'll see whose broken car is faster at this point of the race. Looks like Olsen
Both the cars are broken.
a little more steering oil. Yeah, both these guys going into the pits. So bad luck for those guys. Jesse probably should have checked up a little more. We saw, you know, Cuppet going sideways with really nowhere to go. So a little bit of caution might have paid dividends there. But as it is, he's going to have to pit for the repairs. Ian Jolicor coming up on Bjorn Heyman. He got by those guys, and these guys are still kind of in a battle here.
Yeah, and Jesse taking it.
Oh, Bjorn Heyman off the wall, and Jolicor's going to go by. That's 10th for Ian Jolicor. Sorry, that.
Oh, that's good. It's good.
Yep, so Olsen in, Cuppet in. Looks like Olsen. Yeah, it looks like both these guys equally broken at this point, although they have hung on to some time there. We'll see if they can get fixed in a reasonable amount of time. And back out there on track now on a two-stop strategy, I'm sure. I don't think they can go to the end from here.
Well, quite the turn of events there. Just a little FYI rundown. Parsons out in front by 3.3 seconds over Kirkbride, and Kirkbride over Montgomery by about another 3 seconds. And then a big drop back, 12 seconds back to Brad Maris, who's running in fourth. But Dan Thorpe all over the back of Brad Maris right now.
Yep, hopping on board with Dan Thorpe. We saw Brad. It's kind of a miracle he got. Oh, maybe he didn't. He's got a little bit of front end damage. I was wondering if he had actually hit Cuppet after Olsen, because he went by on the other side, and it really seemed like Olsen had punted that car, you know, into Brad's way. But Brad able to maintain his pace right now.
Yeah.
It looks like, but I think
he's got front end damage for sure. The hood's flopping around.
Actually,
on him,
I think he has lost some pace because 2:10 last lap indicates that was involved in that mistake, and Dan Thorpe is turning. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
And Sam Rawl out.
Oh no, he was just racing with Greg Myers, his former teammate. So I don't know what that's about. I'm surprised. I wonder if he overcooked it or something. Anyway.
Well, Myers looks like he's got some rear end damage too. Nothing major though, but just a little bit.
Hefner up to 6th is now looking at Thorpe.
Yeah, 9 out of 41. As we burn off some fuel, even though, Zach's carrying 60 kilos, he's going to get quicker and quicker. I mean, both those guys, Hefner and Kirkbride, they're both very fast. It really doesn't matter what sort of weight they're carrying with them.
Matters a little.
And, the guy with the big advantage here is the guy who's out in front right now, Aaron Parsons. No weight. Even the P2, Kevin Kirkbride, is carrying 10 kilos, so Parsons with a bit of advantage there. Salem, a great job with 40 kilos in the trunk with the McLaren. He's in a solid third place over Brad Maris in fourth.
Uh-oh, mistake by Brad, and Dan Thorpe closing in.
Brad sliding all around there in those S's.
And again, he keeps looking like he's going to lose the rear end of the car. You got to wonder if he's got the rear tires overheated. But this straight, nice to cool everything off. Slow and cautious through there for Brad. I bet he did have some hot tires and has had to back it off a bit to recover.
Well, you better not back off too far because Dan Thorpe is smelling that position right now.
Yeah, I thought Hefner was going to be up to Thorpe before Thorpe got up to Brad, but not if Brad makes any other mistakes there, because Dan Thorpe is really right on his tail at this point, 0.6 seconds back.
Yeah, and that second sector, you know, Brad had trouble on the last lap, so we'll see how he fares out this time around. Boy, Dan really closed up there.
Yeah, he did.
This cutting corner was always, you know, a pucker moment for me going up these hills here. Dan looking really nice and smooth, though.
Yep.
And Brad looking a little...
little ragged, yeah.
Yeah, a little sloppy, I'm going to say. You know, I don't say that much about our resident instructor, but...
No, we don't there. Yeah, he's using every bit of track there that he can. I wonder if that's on purpose. It doesn't necessarily look intentional.
No, he's got damage. I just jumped in the cockpit with Brad. He's got damage. That front end damage. He's got a broken windshield. And the wheel slightly amiss.
Yep, you're absolutely right. You were absolutely right. So a little bit of suspension damage for Brad after probably an impact with Cuppet. After Cuppet got bumped to the other side of the track by Olsen. I bet he's wishing, you know, there's no CC for this race, of course, being the last round of the season, but that would have...
Well, there's no CC, but it doesn't mean you can't be placed, you know, down a position or two. It's all they have left in their toolbox is to drop you a position or two if they feel there's a
big lag on my machine. Not sure what that's about. Sorry about that. Yeah, right. Well, we'll see. I don't think they're going to do that in this case, especially since Cuppet and Olsen in particular are already so far back. But, well, we'll just see if Brad can hang on. He's obviously trying to hang on to that pit stop, but he's got a heck of a lot of the field behind him at this point, Jack, and I think he's starting to make another train for us.
Yeah, he's got, you know, Hefner, and not far back is Sean Ricker, who's the big beneficiary here, slowing up. You know, Hefner and Thorpe has allowed Sean Ricker to get in to the mix here. And we know that Purple Helmets was doing real well in qualifying, so look for them to come up, but the Audi has got some serious speed as well.
Now Brad, even with the damage, still moving a little faster than his teammate with 40 kilograms, so he's able to keep it pointed the right direction here, clearly.
Well, you mentioned his teammate, you know, Al Merriman. Al's got his hands full with Alan Jacobs.
Yeah,
they've
really
been running
does.
nose to tail since the drop of the hat. So good battle going on there between the Lambo and the Nissan. But it does look like, you know, it's a tough track to pass on. So it does look like that, you know, down the Conrad Straight there, Brad Maris has still got the straight line speed, you know, to get down the hill and stay out in front.
Yeah.
That Lambo speed, you know, Hafner is tucked in underneath the Thorpe. So Dan's got to make sure he keeps it clean, and he's been running some clean laps. So as long as he keeps it clean, it's going to be hard for Zach. So again, we're missing a few drivers. David Poole's out, Andrew Werner's out, and I thought 05 did a pretty good job this season too. So, and they had a great cheering section. So sorry with Boris, Bernie, and Donna. Sorry they're not with us tonight. I don't think you are, but if you are, post up on the chat room. Let me know you're out there. Dan Thorpe had a look on the outside. Brad Maris, Hefner, Maris, and Thorpe. Oh.
Yeah, Hefner is still looking a little bit weird as far as this connection. I'm really not sure what that's about.
Well, Sean Ricker is into this foray as well. All up tight now. We got 4 cars all vying for P4 right now. So Maris in the damaged Lambo trying to hold off Dan Thorpe and Zach Hefner and Sean Rickard. Dust flying as they go through the chicane and down through the dip, through the S's.
Good view of this from Sean Ricker's car.
Absolutely, and that's exactly where I'm hanging out right now too.
Although he made a mistake there and it's falling back, so I'm going to hop up to Zach Hefner. Still with these guys, and we'll keep an eye on that rear view here.
Yeah. Zach trying to close the gap in on Dan Thorpe, but just not close enough. All doing a good job coming through that chase into the final corner, and this is where it all slows down right here. And who can set up for this first corner, which hell corner, you really need to nail this one for the big, long uphill straight.
Yeah, it looks like these guys with no weight getting a little better exit. Lee Kirkbride, of course, Brad has 30 kilograms, but Dan Thorpe able to make a solid exit off of there and looking pretty good. See that gap come back down as they brake and start going slower up the turns here.
Yeah, and this is where Sean Ricker usually closes that gap.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much as you said, there he is doing it. That Audi looking really quick through sector 2.
Yeah, up through Solman Park into the S's. Sure would like to do a drive around this track one day. Although I'm not so sure I'd want to come through this last part of the S's and into the dipper. Yeah. It would probably be absolutely frightening coming through that dipper there. But Zach Hefner right up tight to Dan Thorpe. Let's see if he can get a run on him. Chuck Carter left the server. That's it for Chuck for this season.
Yep. Looking faster than Dan Thorpe, looking on whatever side that was.
Well, looked on the outside there, but
not much road there.
No, and that corner there, you know, going into the chase, real dicey one. I don't know if you could hold it by taking the inside there. I know I couldn't, but I mean these guys might be able to do it. So, Parsons out in front, stretched his lead out to almost 5 seconds. Montgomery and now about another 5 seconds behind them. Sorry, guys, you're not going to get much loving tonight, other than a little mention, FYI mention that you're out there. So we got 14 out of 41. So is this going to be a one-stopper, two-stopper? What do we got going here, Jake?
Don't know. We'll have to find out in, well, actually, you know what? If they were two-stopping, they might have stopped already, Jack. So I'm expecting a one-stopper for everybody. Speaking of, I don't know, everybody, Ian Jolicoeur is now behind Al Merriman, and he's at 9th, and Alan Jacobs now chasing down Ian Jolicoeur.
I just
and
that.
As I say that, Brad makes some kind of mistake, and
yes.
Yeah, not good. So Hefner up to 5th, Ian Thorpe up to
Brad's
4th.
pulling the plug.
Yeah.
Brad has pulled the plug.
Yeah, just not happy with that result there. See you next season, Brad. So that moves everybody up one spot.
Well, I wasn't expecting that, but I guess he didn't want to pull in and get his repairs done to give up the space. But as we were trying to keep track of both those developments, Ian Jolicoeur has gotten by Alan Jacobs.
No, he was already there.
Chasing down Al Merriman.
Oh, Jolicoeur is behind Jacobs. Okay, I understand now. Right, Jolicoeur had an uncle. Okay.
Yeah, he was running in 10th for the longest time.
Yeah, you're doing better at this than I am right now. Okay, so John McIntyre, by the way, is in 10th.
Yeah, absolutely. I just looked over. Johnny Mack has got his car up into P10. He started dead last.
Yeah, that's true. Although so did Jolicoeur. Pretty much.
Well, not dead last. You know,
yeah,
second dead last, like barely alive last.
yeah. Hefner still closing on Dan Thorpe, and Ricker still trying to keep a hold of those two guys.
Yeah. Ricker sort of falls behind in the last sector, but tends to close up in the first and second sector. So no surprise to me, Sean will catch back up and then fall down in the big Conrad Straight, or it seems to. Ian Jolicoeur all over the back. Al Merriman. Al going wide. Ian having a look on the inside. Keeping it tight. And we don't want to see any argy-bargy going on here. But it is Ian Jolicoeur and it's Big Al. And up through these S's and the chicane is when this Porsche should shine. And the Lambo stretches it out from Ian down the Conrad Straight.
Sure does.
You know, that's sometimes frustrating, you know, when you've got, you know, a great handling car, which is good, and you close the gap up in the corners and just not top end speed. And once you hit the straightaways, the car in front of you takes off again. You got to work your way all the way back up there and hope for a little bit of a bobble to get by. So, 12 races, both Monday and Thursday night this past season. Look for more of the same next season. I'd like to see lots of guys sign up. And, you know, this Thursday night has been so competitive. Time-wise, the drivers are competitive. Great racing front to back. Middle of the pack, we've seen Jake is probably where most of the action has been taking place.
Yep. Oh.
And if you're not a podium winner, but you love racing, come and join us on Mondays or Thursday nights. Mondays for Open Wheel and Thursday night for the GT races. And again, I want to thank all the viewers out there for showing up and participating in our, you know, our draw we had this year. I'm going to try and put many more of those together for next season. And hopefully we can get the viewership up to where we'd like it.
Yeah.
And bring you all the action here. And probably one of the
Sorry.
What?
Ian Jolicoeur gets quite close to Al there in the braking zone. They got really different lines through there. And Hefner is also really close to Dan Thorpe. I've been keeping an eye on both these battles.
Yeah, you know, those are the two closest battles on track right now. And I think it might be as I suspected. You know, as you know, Hefner's car lightens up, even though he's still carrying that weight. He's so fast, they drive their lines so clean that I think he's going to pick up a little bit and really giving the gears to Dan Thorpe.
Yep.
Now, a little farther back, we got Chris Cusco and Greg Myers duking it out. It is Nissan versus Corvette. and Chris running in P12 right now. So great drive by Chris, new member here at NAGP. Chris running out of Montreal, Canada. Well, not really out of Montreal, but that's the closest city that you guys would know anyway. So we'll just say it's Montreal. So a few drivers inconspicuous tonight. Zabo Moses, Matt Lehman. Sorry that they're not here with us tonight. Al Merriman and Ian Jolicoeur still battling it out.
Yep, that's correct. That's who I was watching.
Yeah, Al doing a great job holding off Ian. He's going to have to get right up behind him on this hell corner coming up to have any hope of keeping up to this Lambo.
Yeah, he really needs that draft here to see Al already ahead.
I think Ian's in the draft right now.
I think he is.
He just needed to be a few feet closer.
Yep.
And that Porsche is a lot tighter on the corners.
Yep. Oh! But he keeps doing that. That makes me nervous, Jack. Yeah. I feel like he's just getting lucky every time that happens.
Who's getting lucky? They're both getting lucky, to be honest. I mean, not a good spot. I mean, that's roughly where McKinday, put his car sideways and just, got jammed in the wall, and that was pretty much the race for him. Overdone from P4 to nothing.
Yep. And there again, Jolicoeur checking up to avoid the back to Al, but he's got to catch him even through these fast, this weird section here.
Al getting out of that dipper, quicker than Ian, and that's saving him coming down this Conrad Straight. Yeah, you guys out there talking about the draft. The draft is always fun. I really like the draft part of Thursday night racing. Although a lot of the guys like the Spec Series, and Spec Series is great, don't get me wrong, but the draft is always fun to see who ends up with what. And they pretty much have these cars balanced pretty good. There's always one or two favorite cars every season, but for the most part, they are pretty competitive.
Yeah,
so pretty static as we go 19 out of 41.
Yeah, we'll have to see if pit stops mix it up, as we are coming up on the round of pit stops. Probably at the end of lap 21 for most of these guys. I imagine Ian Jolicoeur will try the undercut, see if he can get past Al. He likes to do that. And Parsons may go an extra lap at the end of lap 22. Would not be surprised, as he is making those softs last and making it look easy so far. So we'll keep an eye on that. Kirkbride as well.
I don't know if that's easy. That gap stayed pretty much stable at around 4 seconds. So Kirkbride, making it happen there. He's keeping Parsons barely within sight down the back of that Conrad Straight.
Yep.
Hefner, really pressing Dan Thorpe, you know, for quite a while now, and Jolik are trying to get by Al, but he's gonna have to do something radical. So we may not see anything until pit window.
Yeah, we're still watching Ian Joligor right now. What were you going to say? Parsons getting that gap out.
Yeah, Parsons, Kirkbride, and Montgomery all stayed out. Thorpe and Hefner stay out as well. They're all going to go around for another lap.
As is Ian Joligor and Al Merriman. So I bet. Gotta wonder if everybody's gonna pit at once. It does end up making pit lane look a little hectic, but fortunately there's no collisions in there, so it is.
Chris Kosikow made a mistake. Bjorn Heyman going by. Little bit of damage, sidewall damage on the right-hand side of Chris Kosikow's car.
Yeah.
Still running good, P13 though. But so now Bjorn Heyman is going to have tried to close that gap to Greg Myers, and Johnny Mack running a solid P10. Whoa, big bobble by Ian Joligor just then, and he is sliding all over the place in that Porsche, trying to close back up to Al Merriman. Whoa,
yeah.
Keep it off the wall, Ian. Letting it all hang out there because he's closing the gap to Al, but it does not look safe.
No, it doesn't.
Parsons stays out, Kirkbride stays out, Montgomery in the pits.
Yep. So that was the end of lap 20, so yeah, Montgomery pitting before the halfway point of this race. Looking to get on new tires and get out there and get a fast out lap in and be on hot tires by the time these guys come out. And like I said, I sort of expected Joligor to do the same, but he doesn't.
No, he'll follow Al. As long as he's got the fuel on board, I think he'll stay right with Al, and you know, try to keep that battle going because that looks like fun out there.
So Sam Montgomery Jr. comes out ninth at 24.2 seconds in the pit box. Excuse me.
Yep. And we'll keep an eye and see how Kirkbride and Parsons do in their pit rotation. Whoa, Parsons grabbed a little bit of a wall there.
Yep, Kirkbride now closing the gap for the first time in about 15 laps. So you gotta wonder if those softs are falling off for Parsons. You can see them now.
Smelling blood.
Yep, Ian Joligor also smelling blood from the Gotta Go Barbie pink car of Al.
Yeah, nobody'd want to, you know, follow up behind a pink car, would they?
I just don't know. We don't see that many pink cars. So,
well, we would if his name was Alice, but it's not. So,
Kirkbride pits, Parsons pits, Dan Thorpe is going to pit in like 15 seconds. I don't know, maybe Hefner, probably. Although Hefner's turning fast laps, you gotta say, oh no, Hefner's going around for one more.
well, Salem coming through the chase down to the final corner.
Hefner was about 32 seconds back on Kirkbride, so this will give us a good idea for that pit delta. It looks like it's about...
Parsons is out on the straight now.
Yeah. Parsons oh yeah, he was headed already, so, right. Hefner's got a pit though, so this doesn't mean anything. Anyway, Al Merriman's pitting. Everybody's pitting. Everybody's in the pits. Except for Hefner. And apparently... no, everybody.
Jolicoeur's rolling. And Al Merriman is out ahead of Jolicoeur. So he had a better pit stop by 3 seconds. He
Much
picked
better.
up 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Parsons back out on softs. So we got about a 3.5 second lead from Parsons to Kirkbride. Parsons has got Hefner in front of him, but he's definitely not holding Aaron up.
No, he's not. He's low on fuel right now, and so Hefner turning the fastest laps that he has all race right now, but he's got to go in for that pit stop, get fresh tires and fuel, and that's going to put him back to 5th place, so yeah, it's pretty much looking like how it's gonna go.
Yep, so Zach Hefner in the pits.
He was chasing around Dan Thorpe, so we'll see where he comes out relative to Dan. Not looking great, yeah.
No, Dan's got a good run by here.
Quick stop for Hefner.
Hefner's got the wheels turning.
But not going to be able to stay
And
ahead.
he did.
Yeah, I guess he is. He comes out of that pit lane pretty fast, so.
Well, he's in the, second pit box, so, huge advantage there. But again, now, Zach's out there, with that 60 kilos, so, we'll see how this plays out. Of course, Zach will get faster and faster as he burns off some of that fuel, but Dan Thorpe right now with 0 kilos with a nice P5 position right now.
Dan Thorpe getting a little loose there.
Oh, he wants up behind Hefner. You can tell by how he's driving that car right now. Down through the chicane into the S's. And that Mercedes, even though it has the grunt, it's going to have a hard time catching that Lambo down the hill.
Yeah, we'll see, but I think Hefner able to maintain the pace of Dan Thorpe for the rest of the race. So I think that it's going to be Parsons, Kirkbride, Montgomery, Hefner, Dan Thorpe, Sean Ricker, Al Merriman, Ian Jolicoeur, Alan Jacobs. Merriman and Jolicoeur may race again, who knows. Alan Jacobs, Bjorn Heyman, Greg Myers, Chris Kosko, Jonathan Cuppett, Jesse Olson, and John McIntyre. Sergio Calderon. That'll be our positions for now, and probably till the end because these guys were spacing out.
Just want to throw a big shout out there, Mark DeGraw, who's been faithfully tuning in every Thursday night. He was the winner of our Tune In to Win this year. Had beautiful retro Motorsport T-shirt.
Oh, is that, who is that? Somebody's out of the race.
Carlos De La Torre.
No, Olsen has got damage again and cut the chicane and stopped, I guess, to avoid getting cut there. Wonders if he's over the limit, but I wonder, is he damaged again? Nope.
I'm not seeing any damage.
He's got a little bit of front end damage, but it doesn't look like he's got suspension damage, so he should be able to continue as he taps that wall again.
Yeah. You know, coming out of that dipper corner, yeah, I better jump on board here. Wheel looks good and straight.
Yep.
So that jump in the pits by Hefner over Thorpe, and Zach is just increasing his lead over Dan Thorpe.
Yep.
But great race so far by Dan. He's just got to keep it together for this second half, and I'm pretty sure that'll be his best finish, his fifth place finish this season. Now, race going on between Jonathan Guppett, Chris Kazakow, and Gregory Myers, I believe.
You got it.
Whoa, Jonathan taking some of that wall there.
Jonathan had trouble early, and he's just now catching up, but he's definitely got pace on these guys, so he's really just got to find an appropriate spot to pass.
Yeah, and down through these S's is not an appropriate place.
Nope.
Chris trying to tuck up in behind the Nissan, but the Nissan shows his legs down here. And this is where this Audi will close the gap up on Chris. Down through Chase into this final corner. And again, those Audis running all over the limiter. So, just an FYI, Parsons out in front by 3.67 over Kirkbride, and a huge gap between these guys and Salem Montgomery in P3, 17 seconds back of Kirkbride.
Yep, not a great track for the McLaren is what I heard, plus Sava's got that 40 kilograms pretty heavy.
Yeah, it might not be a great track, but he's still doing a great job. Got it up into P3. I mean,
yeah, oh, absolutely. But he's pushing just as hard as those guys up front, I'm sure, and not normal for Salem to be off the pace.
Jonathan Cuppett all over the back of Chris Cusco coming into the chicane.
Yep, I've been sticking with these guys.
Yeah, and, you know, Chris putting the pressure on Greg Myers as well. Chris trying to tuck up behind Nissan. Looks like he did, but that was slow for both of them. And Cuppett with the advantage going to the outside here.
Narrow the track.
Cuppett makes the pass, pulls out in front. And now Cuppett got his sights set on Greg Myers. And Chris probably going to try and take advantage here if he can. If Cuppett can get up alongside of Greg Myers, Chris would probably want to tuck in behind Cuppett and try and go along for the ride.
Yep.
Yeah, that battle between Ian Jolicoeur and Al Merriman in the S's all over the back of Big Al is Ian Jolicoeur. Cuppett up alongside Greg Myers.
Oh, Cuppett gets by. So.
And they got the race leader, Aaron Parsons, trying to squeeze through here as well. Which means Kirkbride's going to be not far behind.
Yep. Parsons trying not to lose much time here, but it's not a good spot to get by. Not at all.
No. And that's the 10 car of Jonathan Cuppett. And, other than throwing the anchor out and creating a mess, he's just got to hang in here. And he does. He pulls over successfully and lets Aaron Parsons by. Greg Myers catches a little bit of the wall watching the action up in front of him. But we can bet that Kirkbride's going to be having to get through the same stuff here as they go through the S's here, and Kirkbride up behind Greg Myers now.
Yep, already past Chris Kozico is Kevin Kirkbride, and now he's going to get past Greg without much issue, I'm sure. Probably.
Yeah, Greg, a super clean driver. Known Greg for a number of years now, 8 years now. I've been driving around with Greg, and I didn't nickname him Mr. Smooth for no reason at all. I'm sure he'll give plenty of space when it's appropriate to let Kevin slide on through. And there he goes. Good on you, Mr. Smooth. And that battle between Al Merriman and Ian Jolicoeur is still raging.
Yep.
Al coming off that dipper. I think he gets closer and closer to that wall every time he goes around that corner. Well, I was just watching the speed of that Porsche, and it topped out at 179, so it's topping out. Not far behind any of the other cars here tonight. So quickly, Parsons out in front by 4.5 seconds over Kirkbride. And a big gap back to Sale Montgomery in third, Hefner in fourth, Thorpe in fifth, trying to chase down Zach Hefner. Sean Ricker in sixth, Al Merriman in seventh, and Ian Jolicoeur eighth. Alan Jacobs doing a great job here. Late ride, carrying 40 kilos in P9 with Cuppett in P10. But Ian trying to give Al, the boss, the shakedown and get by him. But Big Al not making it easy for Ian tonight. Ian not making it easy for Al. Up through the chicane. So, Where are you out there?
Still watching Ian and now.
Yep.
Yep.
That's about the closest thing going on out there.
I don't think Thorpe's going to catch Hefner. Ricker, I don't know if Ricker will catch Thorpe or not. I have to look at the times, but most likely battle to actually result in overtake here is probably this one for 7th. And then whenever Cup fights his way back up.
Ricker's lap times are a little quicker. That last lap for Dan Thorpe was a little off, but these guys are coming up to traffic as well, so it's going to be interesting. Good part of the course to be getting onto traffic. Hefner gets around. Dan Thorpe's going to be stuck here. And Sergio moves over and lets Dan through without too much trouble, so it didn't cost. Oh, whoa, whoa! Dan Thorpe almost put it in the wall there. Had to really check up.
Ricker a little impatient, wasn't looking for the spot there. Sergio gave him the inside, and Ricker was looking for the outside.
But still battling is Big Al and Ian Jolagor.
Yeah, I expect they'll hit this, they'll hit Sergio in another little bit here.
Great action by these two veteran drivers. I think he'd be, whoa, big check up there by Jolagor. Ian's starting to slide that Porsche around a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think really this is about the only place on the track where Al can breathe the sigh of relief is on the Conrad Straight and after Hell's Corner going up the straightaway up the hill. They're the only two places Lambo can stretch his legs out.
Yeah, but even up the hill, Ian Joel were sometimes able to close the gap and get a little draft, but they're down the hill. Ian doesn't stand a chance, so looking good for Al, to be honest, because Al's able to hold all those. Oh, as I say that, he makes a mistake, but all these places on track where you could get an easier pass, Al seems to have a good handle on. So we'll see what he can do. He's likely to throw something a little desperate in towards the end of the race.
Well, yeah, we've been lulled into, a little bit of a stupor late in the race to find all sorts of action going on in the last couple of laps, the last few races. So who knows what's going to happen here, but let's hope all ends well.
Right.
Olsen all over the back of Gregory Myers coming up through the S's. And that's a battle for P11. Geez, I guess that extra practice that Al put in today is really paying off here. Boy, oh boy, Ian is really making Al's job tonight difficult. $31 out of 41 in the books, and just a little shout out there, guys. A little disappointed, I put a shout out last week, saying that Al takes it off track. Ian follows him. Al swerving. Al into the wall.
Okay.
Al puts it in the wall.
What were you saying there, Jack?
What was I saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I got caught up in the action here.
Yep.
As soon as I go, I think everything's, smooth going, and something happens.
Right.
I was a little disappointed. I put a shout out last week for donations, and it costs us $300 a month to keep the servers up and running here at NAGP, and we're way shy, guys. So I know it's the end of the season, and everybody's like, we're done. But we got another season coming up, so if you can find your way clean to throw us $10, $20, $5, go a long way to help us make our goal this month. But we're a couple of $100 shy. So Al, with a bit of a incident there.
Yep.
Hit into the wall. Let Ian Jolicoeur go by for P7. Al about 4 seconds back now from that. So, but Ian's got a long way to go. Got about 11 seconds to the guy in front of him. Who is Sean Rick?
Alicor's got to try to go to the end with that damage. Wonder if he will fall into the territory of Jacobs back there, although his wheel appears straight, so that's good for him.
Yeah, the hood's flapping around on the front end.
Yeah,
and
wheels as straight as it gets. I think he just has some aero damage, so he'll be able to keep it on track. He may have a slightly less pace, but we'll see if he can stay ahead. Jacobs turning a 207. 207's pretty consistently. 207's below 208, so we'll see about that from Al.
Well, it'll tell at the end of this lap, see what this lap does for him.
Yeah. 208s, yeah. So he's gonna be all right. He's got plenty of time here. The gap is such that he'll have enough time. So
well, he's losing about a second a lap, and there's 9 laps left.
Well, I mean, Alan Jacobs was 0.8 slower that last lap, so he's not losing a second lap yet. Sean Ricker's closing on Dan Thorpe now. I don't know if you've noticed that battle.
Indeed he do.
Oh,
Chris Cusco.
Wow.
Off to the side there.
Yeah, that looks scary.
Well, blue flag.
Right.
But, as I said before.
Whoa! Wow. You see that, Jack?
I didn't.
I'm sorry. Ricker with a looked like almost a dive bomb into Dan Thorpe at the last second. Doesn't get side by side with him, but it looked like an inevitable collision down there. Which one's that? The tight downhill. It's got a great name. Dipper?
The Dipper?
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, it appears he's recovered nicely.
Yeah, well, he was right behind Thorpe. He just had to slow up a little bit, I think, but it was a bit of a crazy move. We talked about how those Audis quick through Sector 2, so it's going to be another guy trying to figure out how to make a pass here or just waiting on Dan Thorpe to make some kind of mistake.
Or Sean Ricker to make a brilliant move.
Well, that's what I was saying. Sean's got to make that move in Sector 2, so that's going to be a little bit argy-bargy, I bet, but we'll see about that. We will see. Go ahead.
Back in 13th.
Yep.
Got John McEnroe, or McIntyre.
Do we now?
Yeah. Jimmy Mack is chasing Chris Cusco.
Wow, we really stepped up our game in terms of our guest drivers.
Well, we're now on the tennis court.
Yep. Okay, so
It's been a long season, guys.
All right, Ricker's still closing that gap. I guess we'll hop with him.
Yeah, Sean Ricker, one half of Purple Helmet team. Ricker running in 6th, Olson in 10th right now. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Lehman out here. Matt Lehman, the other half of Empire Racing there, Dan Thorpe's teammate. As he had some really good practice times in. It's too bad he couldn't make the race tonight.
Yeah.
But I would like to see the field filled up for next season.
Well, we never filled up this season, Jack. Never quite got it. That
didn't.
Monday league pretty popular, but Thursday took a hit this time. So we'll see what car they pick and how many people come back, because we did. Season 32 was absolutely chock full of Thursday drivers and people wanting to drive. So see if they come back.
Well, I sure would like to drive. I'd like to drive on Thursday nights. I'm gonna have to talk to the hosts here, and I sure would like to get back at it, but I think my this old dog, his day is done, and this is probably the best spot for me, is sitting right here beside you.
We'll see about that, Jack. I think you could negotiate a couple of seats as part of your contract. Just be sure to do one every 3 so you don't get that 40 kilograms ballast. That is hard to come in mid-season with 40 kilograms and decide you're going to figure out the car when everybody else has already got a lot of experience with them. Anyway, Ricker really closing up the hill on Thorpe, and touching the wall there.
No, not quite. I was right behind his car. He you couldn't put a piece of paper between him and the wall, but he stayed right off the wall.
Yep.
I don't know how, but he did.
He's really quick up that uphill left-hander. Right as we enter this curvy section is really good for that Audi.
Yeah, and Dan, Dan's braking point just up before the S's there is just in the chicane is just a little earlier than Sean, so Sean tucked right up behind him. Boy, I bet you Sean wishes he was a little closer than that.
Yeah, just a little bit, catch a bit of that draft, and he's got a lot better chance of catching Dan Thorpe, but he's maintaining that gap right now, so it's looking a little better. And as I say that, he hits the rev limiter at 180 miles an hour, and it makes me wonder how fast Thorpe's going at the end downhill. We'll have to check that next lap, Jack.
I will indeed.
There's a lot of these guys capping out at 180 miles an hour, so I wonder if anybody's got a real advantage. I bet the Lamborghinis go a little faster, and the Nissan probably goes a little faster.
Well, the best I saw out of Kirkbride down there was 179 as well.
Oh, there you go. Maybe not.
Chris Koskow makes a mistake. Johnny McIntyre on the inside going by Chris Koskow.
Speaking of mistakes, Ricker did as well. That's going to hurt him all the way up the hill.
Jolicoeur dives in through there. And Johnny Mac pulls over to let Ian by, and Chris is taking advantage, saying, I'm coming through too. John McIntyre not letting up on the throttle, though. Going to take it in deep.
Wow. Good pass there by Chris Kozakoa, able to get ahead.
Oh, that's aggravating when that happens.
It sure is.
Oh, it is. It is very aggravating. And John McIntyre's probably saying, I got to do this all over again. And just a little farther up, Greg Myers and Jonathan Cuppett still going at it. Mr. Smooth. Oh, Cuppett put it in the wall.
Yeah, looking damaged. Is Cuppett sliding around a little bit.
He tried to keep his foot into it, but after coming off the wall, probably had a little bit of tire scuff and a little bit of heat built up there. Should have taken it a little easier, but easier said than done.
Not much happening up front. Parsons in the lead still turning fast laps. Kirkbride going a little faster, probably not enough to do it. He'd need about a second a lap for these last laps, and he doesn't have that much, but we'll see what he can do. Dale Montgomery Jr., though, is really in a totally different place than these guys, and he's all by himself, so he's got third in the bag. Zach Hefner, a really good run with 60 kilograms, fourth place. So that's just really impressive by him, especially on such a track with so much elevation change. Dan Thorpe's in fifth as he makes his way through. No, that's not lap traffic. That's Sean Ricker in sixth. Ian Jolicor in seventh. Al Merriman's sort of alone in eighth, although Alan Jacobs is catching a little bit. Probably not quick enough to make a difference here at the end of the race. Jesse Olson is the first car lap down in 10th. Gregory Myers has got a good result so far with his 40 kilograms. He's in 11th, so pretty competitive run by Greg. Was not liking the Corvette that he was in as part of the regular season, but after his trip, looks pretty good in that Nissan. Jonathan Cuppett is in 12th and chasing down Greg now. Jonathan had trouble early in the race. He had trouble last lap as well, but he does have pace. So we will see if he can take Greg for a second time. Behind him, Chris Kozuko 13th, John McIntyre is in 14th, Bjorn Heyman's in 15th, and Sergio Calderon is still lapping in 16th.
Yeah, good on those guys. Bjorn Heyman and Sergio Calderon, good on them. They're down a couple laps. They're hanging in here right to the end. There's only 4 laps left in the season, so good on them to stick it out through to the end. And it looks like, a great battle going on there for P13, John McIntyre and Chris Cusco. Both those guys are racing hard. And Johnny Mac, a longtime racer here, super gentleman, racing against our new guy, Chris Cusco. So the Thunder from down under, Aaron Parsons out in front by 3 seconds with 4 laps to go. Takes it a little wide there. I'm just watching him out in front. But, Bathurst should be his track. But Kevin Kirkbride, closing that gap up now to Parsons. Parsons was at a slow lap there.
Looks like Parsons, that mistake cost him. We'll see how much it cost him as he goes over the lap line. But at this point, he's going to have to maintain some pace to stay ahead of Kevin Kirkbride. Kevin Kirkbride got 4 laps after this one to make up that difference. So Parsons tops out at about 180. Kirkbride looks like he got up to 181. But yeah, so all these guys really about the same top speed. Kirkbride can see Parsons now. He knows Parsons made a mistake, and he knows he's got a chance. Parsons really got to maintain those soft tires here at the end of the race. You hope that he has so far. 206.5, so that cost him about 1.4, which is, about how much time he lost to Kirkbride. So Kirkbride just turned his fastest lap of the race, 205.1. Parsons can. Yeah,
and I think it's that off tire issue again. We're coming near the end of the race here, so it's definitely going to be a tire issue here. Can Parsons hang on with the softs? Advantage right now is going to be into the Lambo with the medium tires.
Yeah, Parsons looks like at the end of the stint, Parsons is a little slower on those softs, up in the high 205. So that would be enough for Kirkbride to get up to him. I'm not sure it's going to be enough for Kirkbride to make the pass, so we'll just have to keep an eye on these guys. So as you said, Jack, and Kirkbride's got front end damage, a cracked windshield, his front's broken. He must have hit the wall at least once, maybe a couple times. So,
did that happen earlier? Did he not get the damage fixed? I wasn't really paying too much attention.
Yeah, I wasn't either. Well, we haven't been watching these guys because they've been all on their lonesome, so we haven't expected much action up there. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that gap. This is now 2.8, back advantage Parsons. But Ricker is still on Dan Thorpe and may be contesting the position here for the end of the race. He's got to make it in the most dangerous part of the track because that's the only part of the track where he looks definitively faster than Dan Thorpe. Especially this turn right there. But Dan looks like he's got a good handle on it. They're coming up on some traffic here, and that is not lap traffic. That's Hefner making his
trying
way
to get
through
by
lap
Greg
traffic.
Myers.
Yep. Okay, so it is lap traffic. That's behind Hefner. It looks like that's Cuppet, and ahead is Greg Myers. Now Cuppet's going to try and hang on to Hefner here as he makes his way by Greg and get that spot for free. Let's see if he can do it. I don't think so, as Greg's able to create a gap there for Hefner to get through and then closing the door.
Yeah, he closed the door nicely too. You know,
Yeah.
Right in behind there looks like who was that?
Right in behind there would have been
Dan Thorpe.
Yeah, Thorpe is really closing on Hefner at this point. Hefner turns some slow laps. Makes you wonder if there's damage on this car. Nope.
Well, yeah, but he, you know, and there goes Sean Ricker too. So Sean Ricker closing up on Dan Thorpe.
So we may see this battle
So
for
this
fourth
lap
heat up late
traffic,
in the race.
yeah, this lap traffic is coming into play here late in the game. 39 out of 41.
So Dan Thorpe makes his way past Greg Myers. Cuppet.
Sean Ricker looking for a way by. Oh, and he
little
turns
bump,
the
little bump, and free pass for
wide,
Cuppet.
and
Wow.
Cuppet goes by. So a little bit of schmozzle there. Sean Ricker, you know, sort of, you know, wanting by in a bad way, you know, sort of got in contact with Greg Myers and allowed Cuppet up in front of Myers now.
Gotta wonder if Greg's going to be able to get that spot back.
He's looking on the inside. Greg wants it back. Oh.
Whoa,
Whoa, contact. Both of them go swinging around.
Bad luck. Cuppet gets going okay. Greg Myers a little more trouble, but he would have given that spot back anyway. And Chris, nope, that's the lap car. Must have been, who was that just went by? Jollicoeur.
Yeah, Ian slid by.
Yep.
Kirkbride turning fast lap of the race right now, 2:05.104.
Not last lap, Jack. That was 37,
Sorry.
but 38. He made some kind of mistake, and so he's lost. He's got more gap to Parsons than he ever has, actually. It looks like it's Parsons' race to win as he starts the second to last lap here. Bjorn Heyman's in the pits fixing damage.
Bjorn left the server. Geez, after I said good on you for hanging in, and geez, it popped out on me. Way to go.
Sergio's still here. You can feel proud for Sergio if you really want to.
Yeah, good on you, Sergio. You're going to end up with P15 out of that, so hang in there, buddy. There's still points to be had. So Hefner stretched out his gap to Dan Thorpe. Well, looks like they're all settling in. Al Merriman trying to get around. Yes, he does. And I think this is pretty much, unless we have a last-minute kerflubble, this is pretty much the way it's going to end up.
I think it's our order, Jack. Parsons is definitely safe. He's looking pretty good on those soft tires, although they definitely show some signs of wear. He's moving around a little bit on track. Kirkbride, yeah, I think definitely pushed to catch Hefner and, Parsons, and maybe got some damage there. As he's got a 205.1 and then a 207.1 and then a 208.5, so he's definitely lost some time, but he's at no risk personally because Montgomery is a full 40 seconds back. Salem Montgomery Jr. that is. So yeah, this is our order. Parsons coming around to take chase for the last time. On that limiter, 100,
all over the limiters.
Yeah, 182. I saw him there, so they are just barely able to accelerate on the limiter, but yeah, not much. They're kind of stuck there. I wonder if they could get to 185 with a little more gear, but who knows? They know better than I do. You got to consider also those gear sets are sometimes kind of restricted. You say if it went all the way up to 190, it wouldn't be worth it. Okay, so I'm sorry, I thought it was final lap. It wasn't. That's the second to last lap. So white flag for Parsons, white flag for Kirkbride. Looks like nothing crazy gonna happen here.
No,
nobody's close enough to make anything crazy happen here.
No, absolutely not. You know, Dan Thorpe is, you know, got Hefner in sight, but he's a ways back, and it would be real hard. You know, it's a tough track to pass at, you know, so it'd be real hard to get by him, even if you can't get up behind him.
So we will watch Parsons then for his victory lap, as we haven't for the whole race here.
Up the hill through Solomon Park into the S's. And, you know, as we saw some guys, you know, take the chicane, you know, cut the chicane early, I don't think anybody that I saw was going to exceed the limit here. No, Parsons out in front by 9.6 seconds over Kevin Kirkbride.
Yep.
But even though it's a win for Aaron Parsons here at Bathurst, it is definitely a win for Kevin Kirkbride and Podium Hunters, which will take Kirkbride will end up taking the Drivers' Championship, and Podium Hunters will end up with the team championship. So a sweep by the Podium Hunters team as Aaron Parsons comes around to take the checkered flag at Bathurst.
Yeah, looks pretty happy about it too. A bit of a wait for Kirkbride, but he's coming around to finish P2. Yep. Montgomery, after a little while, will finish P3.
So in the chat room there, Kenny Rodriguez says he'd like to drive on Thursday. Well, get with it, Kenny. Get out there on track.
Sorry, Kenny, I don't have Boom Replay installed. It never worked on my machine. I mean, I probably didn't set it up right, but whatever.
Are they coming around to finish or what?
Yeah, Hefner's finishing 4th. Dan Thorpe finishing 5th right now. And then we got to wait 5 seconds for Ricker and then another 4 seconds for Ian Jolicor. Ricker finishes 6th. Ian Jolicor are going to finish 7th. And we got to wait 22 seconds for Al Merriman. And then we got to wait just 4 seconds for Jacobs. Then we're done with the lead lap. So give me 30 seconds here, Jack.
I will indeed. And in 30 seconds, we will have your Bathurst winner up here.
Yes.
And then we'll see how that race unfolded from the cockpit.
Yep. Okay, so that's Jacobs 9th. That's everybody.
Aaron Parsons, are you there?
I am, Jack.
Are you exhausted?
I actually feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I would too if I turned in a race like you did. Well managed, well done, and a great race on what I guess would be your home track.
Yeah, I really lucked out with the weather for the race. Weather was pretty good for the qualifying too. Could run the soft tires. I almost had pole position, but I braked too early for the final corner.
Yeah.
But for the race, if I had to run, if the temperatures were hotter, then the soft tires would melt. But the temperatures were nice and cold, so I could run the soft tires, and the temperatures are really good for the soft tires.
Right
Well,
on.
congratulations on your race, and boy, we see you managed the gap pretty well there. And,
yeah, well, definitely those soft tires are served you well because we did see your fastest pace was early in the stint, whereas Kirkbride's and Hefner's was late in the stint.
Yeah, the first like 5 laps, I could pull out a bit of a gap, and then it sort of stabilized, and he brought me in towards the end of the stint. But
Yep.
they didn't fall off that badly, so he wasn't able to close in that much.
Well, great race.
Well done on the season. I was sorry to see your teammate couldn't be here tonight, but hopefully we'll all be back to watch you in the action next season on Thursday nights.
Yeah, thanks guys for doing the broadcast, and thanks Chris, my teammate, for the setup help this season. We didn't get it early going early very well, but we had it going good towards the end of the season, so that was good. And,
well, and I want to throw out a thanks to you, Aaron. I was lucky enough to sit in on the CC committee with you guys this year, and I got to tell you, I think you guys are doing a hell of a great job here, keeping everybody honest at NAGP.
Thank you, Jack. People are always welcome to join in to see how the CC runs. So
it was an eye opener for me, and I got to thank everybody up there in the CC for putting in the time they do. It was much more involved than I expected it to be. So a great job, and thanks for all your help in running this league here.
Thanks, guys, and hello, Dan, if you're watching.
There you go, a little shout out to Dan. Well, Jake, that's it for us this season.
Yes, it is.
Kirkbride and Hefner, the big winners. Kirkbride, the drivers' champion, and podium hunters, taking it away. So everybody's got their work cut out for them next season. But draft will be interesting to see what happens in the draft and who gets what and who will be complaining about what next season. But
yeah, we'll see.
All fun. Hope we can fill up the grid next season.
Yep, me too, Jack. You can't join us next week. We won't be here. It's the off season now. You got to wait a couple months for your next NAGP fix, but we will be back for season 34. Can't tell you what we're driving Monday. We don't know yet. Can't tell you what we're driving Thursday either. We don't necessarily know yet. There's some crazy rumors going around. So join us next season, though. I'll be back. Jack may or may not be back. I don't know. He hasn't said anything. I think he is. I think you're coming back, right, Jack?
Coming back what?
Broadcast Thursday, maybe.
Where else am I going to go?
Oh, I don't know. If most of these drivers will be back, depending on when they want to race. A lot of these guys that did 2 nights this week or this season are not feeling it for next season. It's a lot of work, so definitely can understand. Including, by the way, podium hunters with all the awards, like everything. So great run by them, and we'll catch you next season. Parting words, Jack. Nothing?
Come join us
Yeah.
Mondays and Thursdays. Just come on out and join us. Get in on the Discord. Get in on the website there in the forum. But please come out and join us Monday and Thursday night for all the action in sim racing here at NAGP.
Great. Bye.